Hello, everyone. My name is Ima. It's an honor to be here. And I will be using both Chinese and English. I've been in Taiwan for 11 years. So if I don't speak Chinese, that would be very embarrassing. 你好，我叫马丁，然后我会用那个中文跟英文。But I hope that I can use a simple English so we can actually, it would be a little bit double time consuming if I just use both languages. And my English is a little bit better than Chinese. So without further ado, today we will be talking about cultural differences and cross-cultural communication. As a foreigner in Taiwan and as a person from Middle East, I have seen it feels like two different planets, like coming from Middle East to here, and I will be sharing most of my own experience. So most of the things that I'm going to talk about will be my own 个人的经验, my own experience, and hopefully, even if you know most of these, you will be at least it will be refresh your memory. And if you have anything you can add, you can always raise your hand and you can always share it with us. So my name is Ima Ding. I forgot that at first when I came to Taiwan, I didn't know that I have a Chinese name and people called me Ima Ding. And I didn't care. Like I didn't really care about my name, but I didn't know after staying in Taiwan for many years that I have more feeling for Ima Ding than my real original Kurdish name. I work at Glossika, and it's a language learning platform. So we also teach languages, and it's a platform that we have more than 60 languages. And in general, I also make videos about language, cultures, and different similarities and differences between languages. So I'm in love with languages, and I speak a few languages other than. Yeah. Okay, welcome back. Now, I am a Kurd from north of Iraq, Iraq的北部。然后 it's a place called Kurdistan. It's like an 自治区, an autonomous area. So my mother tongue or the Muyu is Kurdish. It's very, very different from English, and it's a little bit similar to Persian, the Farsi. And if you look at these two pictures, I think they have something in common. A lot of people. A little bit more than enough. A little bit more than comfortable, like if you look at that one. So these are all my relatives and families. So normally there are some, why do I share this? So you can see how different like my people are. So when I talk about Taiwan, you will feel a little bit more related, or you will know where I come from. 这个是都是我的家庭，然后我会分享我的文化的一些特色。At first, we have very, very big family. So like this is a normal eating at home. Like 20 people, 25 people, 30 people, very, very normal. Every single day, 365 days a year. Yes, very big. Second one, 关系 relations are more important than anything else. So when I go back and I tell them I have a master degree, 我毕业了, anything, they don't really care. They just say, are you happy? Did you make more friends? That is like, that's where I'm coming from. So in my area, relationships are more important. So when people see me that I really don't care like about like 学历 or something, they think that I'm really lazy, but it's just my culture. I'm also a little bit lazy. And we love talking, 我们很爱讲话, and that's a big problem because Taiwanese love listening. And if I'm not careful, I will not shut up forever, which is something I still struggle with. But I have changed, okay? I'm different. And another problem is emotion, 感情, is more important in my culture than logic. So if my uncle thinks the earth is flat, then it's flat. So it is very difficult for you to convince me if you don't look at my ganqing, my emotion. So, and Taiwanese are very, very nice. I'm going to talk about it. But Taiwanese are more practical. They're a bit more logical. But I'm very, very emotional. So how do these two people actually communicate? I will be talking about it. And then another problem, we are very traditional, 非常传统, and very religious. 宗教 is very, very important. So I keep forgetting how traditional and religious we are because I just came back like 2 or 3 weeks ago from Middle East, and I just realized that religion and tradition are something that controlling, like ruling the every social norm and everything. So 传统跟宗教在中东是最重要. They are more important than anything else. And we are very caring, like really, really caring. So if I am in a class and somebody is sad or not talking, I think that is my fault. And I have to go and know why, which is a little bit weird in Taiwan or when you are with other foreigners. So that is also something good. Why am I saying this? So you know that every culture is different. So when they behave or when they act in a way that you don't think it's weird, that you already know. So let's continue. And why is it important that we actually why is it important that I'm sharing these? Well, it's important because we avoid miscommunication, 避免误会. And I have my share of misunderstandings. 在台湾发生了很多次的误会. For example, my classmates, they used to ask me, 要不要一起吃饭? Do you want to eat together? And I said, no, I'm not hungry. And I said it once, twice, third time, because I was not hungry and I eat very little. But then after a while, I realized I have no friends. I didn't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. Somebody tell me, do you want to eat? And I said, no. Now I have no friends. After many, many years of blaming my classmates and Taiwan culture and everything, I realized in Taiwan, when you tell someone, 你要不要吃饭? It means I want to be friends with you. I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. It's more than just, because if I want to tell one, if back home, if I want to make a friend, I say, do you want to become friends? I don't say 要不要吃饭. So this is one very, and they wanted to become friends, and I wanted to become friends. But because of miscommunication, none of us had a chance. And they probably also thought I was very rude because I refused them. So in order to avoid things like that, and there are hundreds and hundreds of examples, we are learning the cultural differences. The second one is to feel safe around other cultures, 安全感. When I first came to Taiwan, it was my first time to leave my country and to leave my families because we don't travel that much abroad. And when I was in the airport, when I was around the Taiwanese, I felt a bit nervous. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know they were speaking a weird language. And I was not feeling that comfort. But now this time, after many years, when I see Taiwanese, I just feel so good. Like, oh my God, there's a Taiwanese in the airport, because I feel like I'm one of them. And I feel like I belong here, or I feel like I know them very well. So if you know about me, if you, like, let's say you know me very, very well, and then next time you see another Kurd or another Middle Eastern, you will not be so worried because it's already familiar. We are afraid of what we don't know. Have you seen the movie Dictator? 独裁者. There's a電影. Anyone seen it? Anyone seen the movie? Okay, there's a movie about a dictator. It's a funny movie. Like there's a helicopter scene, like they are speaking Arabic, and they're laughing, and then the Americans are so afraid, but they're just talking, just nothing. Like, hey, I was driving a car. It was just a very like normal talking, But if you don't understand it, it might sound very weird and dangerous. If I'm with another Middle Eastern and I'm looking at you, you might be scared, but I might just compliment you like that's a very nice person. So I think we will feel a lot safer if we understand each other's culture. Next one, to know how to get along with each other. We all have differences. We all have a lot of things that we shouldn't talk about or things that we have to be careful. And we have different ways of doing it. Like, I personally know many things that I do it very differently from Taiwanese, but without knowing them, we really have a very difficult time to get along with each other. And the most important, in my opinion, to learn from each other. 互相学习. As I said, I learned many things in Taiwan. I learned how to listen. And it's funny because I learned it from a Japanese. I was in Taiwan. I was my first week in Taiwan. And then we had a Japanese classmate. And every time he wanted to speak, I will just cut his frame. Oh, 老师, let me speak. Or 老师 will ask him, hey, my teacher will ask my Japanese student, what do you think? Like he will ask him. And I will say, I know what he thinks. Let me speak of him. And then the Japanese friend will always say, it's okay, you speak first. 你先. And he did it once, twice, three, after I think many, many times I realized, am I rude? I think I'm rude. And there's a reason why I speak like that. There's a reason why I cannot listen. If you saw the first image, when you are eating with 30, 40 people, there's no time. There's no time to wait. Oh, Mading, what do you think? Oh, Mading, what do you think? It will be like 10 hours and we haven't talked about anything. So who wins in these conversations? Who wins when you have 30, 40 people? How do you know? The loudest one. The loudest one always wins. So you have to fight for your right to talk. When you have so many people, nobody says, oh, this person hasn't talked in 2-3 hours. Let's listen to him. It doesn't work. So I was just fresh from Middle East, coming here, and I was cutting people right and left, not letting them. And I was hoping for them. Why this guy is not fighting back? So slowly, I learned. I forgot that back home, people don't listen. I went back and I haven't been back for 4 years. 4年没有回国. And I was waiting for somebody to ask me, how's Taiwan? 你过得好吗? Like, how did you spend your 4 years? And I waited many, many hours or days. One person asked me, I think it was my shushu, like my uncle, and he said, hey, Iman, oh, I forgot, totally forgot. How was Taiwan? And I said, finally. And I said, Taiwan was actually, and then somebody else cut my, and I did not have a single chance. Really? So you see the problem. But I still learned to listen. And then there's still some people that, so when I go back, I behave a little bit away. And when I come back, I behave some way. Nothing changed. I'm still the same person, but I just know how to behave in different places. So to learn from each other, I also learned how to exercise, to take care of myself. Like back home, nobody exercises, everybody's sick. Like after 40, if you're not sick, people say, oh, you want to live forever? So in Taiwan, and the good thing is, if it's done correctly, you don't even have to tell the person this is the right way. When I learned Taiwanese exercising, I just learned and I thought it was beautiful. That was amazing. So I learned without anyone telling me. So you have a lot of different beauties and each culture has a different beauty. And I think when we are communicating well, we will automatically will be learning something interesting from each other. Okay, a few examples of, that was the thing that I said. Like when a person tells you in Taiwan, do you want to eat together? Maybe they don't mean the food. Okay, they mean let's be friends. So just remember that. Next one, 吃饱了没 or 吃饭了吗? That people ask you, have you eaten? I mean, I'm always wondering, why does this guy care? Do you think I don't have money? But this is actually a way to say hello. And I didn't know that. So, and I thought this guy was rude. And that guy thought I was rude because every time he says, 你吃饱了没? I say, why do you ask? So that's another example. And receiving compliments. 被称赞. When somebody tells you in Taiwan, 哦，你很厉害, you say, no, 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 no. 没有, no, no, no. But back home, when somebody tells you, you're so good, I know, of course. What were you thinking? So it's very different. You have to stay humble here. If somebody tells you, 哦，你很厉害, you say, 哦，我知道. That's very rude. So, yeah, that's why we study these. And so what shall we do? So it was very, very difficult because normally I only talk to Taiwanese families. It's the first time that we have people from all these different countries, including Taiwanese, in the same room. So I try to simplify some of the things. If I'm missing something, so forgive me. And you can always, we will have a Q&A section, so you can always put also your input. Number one, begin in a friendly way. Always start with a very lovely, nice smile, or if you can do with a handshake, or just like that you are happy to see the person. I think the first impression is very, very important. You might be a very, very nice person, but if our first interaction is very cold, I might carry that feeling forever. So I think a very nice handshake or a lovely, back home we even smile and kiss, but I don't want you to go around and kiss everyone. And if you can memorize or remember that person's name, that would be really good. And because it's very difficult because the names are so different here. Like my name is Ima, it's a little bit easy, but some people like Kurdish names are Peshro or Pephokshu. It's very difficult. And the same for Taiwanese, for the Chinese names. So if you actually take an effort to remember that person's name, repeat it a few times, I think that would be very, very polite and respectful. I have friends that they told me their name, and it's been many, many years we're still friends, and I forgot their names. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. And it's very embarrassing. So if you forgot your friend's name, just say, oh, sorry, 我忘了你的名字. Or, oh, sorry, it's better not to forget. But if you forget, say it in the beginning. You don't want to be friends for 1 or 2 years and still not know your friend's name. So next one is, I think it's very important. Us and Taiwanese are very different, or foreigners and Taiwanese are very different. I love soccer, I love football, but most Taiwanese don't like football. So it's like a religion for me, soccer. But it's very difficult to talk about football with Taiwanese because they don't like football and they like basketball, and I hate basketball. I absolutely hate basketball. But can we just, if he talks about basketball and I talk about soccer, I don't think we can be good friends. So it's your job to find that common point. See what is it that you both have in common. Most of the time, you have a common thing. Maybe you both love, I don't know, movies. Maybe you both love music or something. So it is your job to find it early. And if you can, and I really recommend it, avoid talking about war, politics, and religion. Don't assume that just because I'm Middle East, maybe I love religion. There are some Kurds who hate religion, and there are some Kurds who have a different opinion. So always avoid. That means you can, after we become good friends, 当好朋友以后，什么都可以讲。但是刚开始的时候, I think don't talk about war, politics, and religion. These 3 topics. So moving to the next one, be yourself. In the beginning, I was always so nervous when I came to Taiwan. I would always like smile all the time, afraid to hurt anyone. So it became very tiring after a while. I was always like the clown. Do you like it? Yeah, yeah. And I hated it. So it's very difficult to not be yourself. And I think when you are not yourself, your feelings are all fake. Like your expressions are all fake. 都是假的. And the other person cannot get to know you because they don't know what is your true you. It especially happens when we are talking with different cultures because we want to be polite. We want to be really, really nice. So the best advice that I tell you to be special, just to be yourself. I think the person, your friend, will appreciate your true self. And another one, don't judge too fast. One time, a friend passed me, a good friend. Like, it was not a very good friend, we just met. And I said hi, and he just passed. He didn't reply. And I was like shocked. I was looking. I knew he hated me. I knew he hates me. I could feel it. Okay, so that was my judgment that time. This guy doesn't like me. Maybe we are not friends. 他不喜欢我，他没有说hi. But then again, after a few weeks, we met again, and it was like an awkward. And I had the courage, and I said, "You didn't say hi to me, and I say hi to you, and you just passed me." Say what? When? Where? Say that day. Say, I swear to God, I didn't see you. You say, I did not have my contact lenses. And my vision, I cannot see anything from here without my contact lens. And that was new for me because Kurds, 库德族人, we have very good vision because we don't read books. Do you know how good our vision is? If you have a 200 person, you say, which one? Oh, 戴眼镜的那个. The person who's wearing glasses. It's so rare to see someone is wearing a glass because we don't, I mean, as I said, we don't read books. So for me, when I see another person from Middle East, we say hi like almost from across the school. So I judged too fast. I was wrong. And another one, I met my first Korean, 第一个韩国人在台湾. It was my third day in Taiwan. I went there, and she came inside the room, and she just sat down. I was just looking. It was the first time in my life that I see somebody not saying hi. I was just very fresh. And I say hi, she didn't reply. Okay, I said maybe she was busy. At another time, I was outside. I said goodbye, she didn't reply. And I hated Koreans. After that, oh, if you said you were Korean, I absolutely hated them. And I really got hurt. It was just I didn't know what was wrong. I just didn't know why that person hated me. And I still don't know. But the next Korean that I saw, it was my next classmate. He was the nicest person. He was even more social than a Kurd. He came and everybody taking care of everyone. At that point, I thought I knew every Korean and all Koreans are bad. But then the second person proved me very, very wrong. So that time and many other times, you might meet someone that is not ideal. Don't think that this person represents the entire country. So I think that is a very important thing, especially it's difficult when you only meet one person from that country. So if I'm really, really bad to you, in your mind, no matter what I do, you might think I represent the entire Middle East, but I don't. So whenever you judge, just think maybe there's something I don't know. 有可能我误会了，有可能我不知道一个东西。Or maybe this person doesn't represent their country and it doesn't discourage you. Like imagine a Taiwanese come to Kurdistan or comes to Middle East, and that Taiwanese maybe does something, maybe he's a bit rude. And then I say, oh, I don't want to meet Taiwanese, they're all rude. Just look at it, like 99.99% of Taiwanese are very, very polite and lovely. But just because of that person, I judge the entire Taiwan. So that is something to remember. And that was the Korean guy that was he was like very, very nice guy. And respect cultural differences. And I said, Taiwanese are really good at this. They know that I don't eat pork. So before that, they don't say, oh, 你不吃猪肉, oh, you don't eat pork, ew. Or pork is so delicious. They never do that. So I really appreciate it. So I think when we respect each other's cultural differences, everything that I said will not make sense if you don't include respect. Because if you don't include respect, then the more you know, the more dangerous, because you know how to hurt the other person. So everything that I said would be pointless without respect. And no matter how different your friend is, no matter what he believes, he could be a Christian, he could be an atheist, he could be a Muslim, whatever he thinks, if you respect that, you have the key to that person's heart. And finally, Taiwanese are very polite, shy, and indirect. And like foreigners, they don't talk straight. If they don't like something, 没事没事, but you know there's something wrong. So don't just wait and pause and make sure that they also get, like, ask their opinion. If you want to eat something, you say, hey,要不要吃这个? They might say, okay, 没关系, okay. Even if they don't like it, sometimes they might not say it. So I think just ask for their opinion. They're very polite. Most of the time, if they don't like something, they would rather stay quiet, silent. So if you are a good friend, especially this is for foreigners, ask their opinion a little bit more. And once you know what your Taiwanese friends likes or dislikes, I think your friendship will become a lot better. Because most of the Taiwanese, they are so nice that no matter what you do, they might forget their own preferences for you. So that is how nice they are. Now, in summary, so begin in a friendly way. Don't forget a very nice handshake, a very good first impression. And find a common ground. Talk about something that you both like. And be yourself. Don't judge too fast. And respect the cultural differences. And that was this one. Now, very quickly, I'm going to talk about the languages. How many people here are actually learning Chinese or English? Can I raise your hand? English or Chinese? Or you're like still learning? Okay, so some people are not learning either. Interesting. What are you learning, guys? Okay, so majority of us, we are either learning English or Chinese. So we're all language learners. I wonder, a few people didn't raise their hands. I wonder, is it like because they are fluent or they're learning another language? A few people, anybody? Is there anyone who's focused on not learning English or Chinese? Okay, I guess, yeah. So all of us are learning either English or Chinese. And most of us are not native speakers. Especially the foreigners, Taiwanese might think that 每一个外国人都讲英文都流利, but that is not true. Many foreigners, for us, English could be the second, third, even fourth language, especially people from India, Malaysia. There are so many languages are spoken in those countries that we are not native speakers. And Chinese and English are very, very different. That makes communication even more difficult. And one truth is, I have some nice Vietnamese friends that we play soccer together, but I find it very difficult to communicate with them. They're still learning, or not even Vietnamese, like from different countries. If they cannot speak English, if they cannot speak Chinese, it's really difficult. Like, our friendship will stop at a point. I really want to know more, but I can't. So maybe your language fluency affect your friendship level. How do you express yourself? How do you say what you think if you cannot express yourself? It's very difficult. So language is very, very important, but hopefully there are a few tips and tricks that we can use that will help us communicate a little bit better. And as I said again, Taiwanese are also very shy in making mistakes. If you speak to a Taiwanese and he is very nervous or she is very nervous, maybe don't think that she's nervous because she doesn't like you or she's afraid of you. Maybe she's afraid to speak English, or maybe she's afraid to make a mistake. This is also another difference between Kurds, Middle Eastern, and Taiwanese. When Taiwanese say, I don't speak English, or when they are nervous, most of the time their English is good. They just think that they don't know English. I had a friend from my city. He came here for a business trip. And then I said, how was your English? He said, fluent. He said, Shakespeare. I say, you don't need me, right? He say, I don't need you, but you can still come with me. He went to a company interview, like a team meeting. He was doing business. 他要做贸易. So we met the 老板, the owner of the company. And the owner, I said, do you need my help? To my friend. He said, no, my English, perfect, very good. And then I said, okay, well, you do whatever you do. And then the 老板 asked, oh, how was your trip? Asked my friend. And my friend said, yes. I say, did you understand? He said, no. He said, how was your trip? You don't understand. Say, hey, why are you laughing at me? I say my English is good, but I didn't say it's I'm Shakespeare. Or he say, okay, my English is good, but it's not that good. He asked, how was your trip? So you see, if Taiwanese, most of the Taiwanese, they speak very good, or at least they understand very good, but they don't have that confidence. And if you dominate the conversation, and if you don't let them speak, then they will not even they will be even more afraid to talk to you. So just remember, when your friend is too quiet or too shy or too nervous, maybe it's because like he or she is afraid to make a few mistakes. So let your friend talk a little bit more, and don't have a fake confidence like Kurt's. It's bad. And then Chinese is also very interesting because Chinese is not easy as well. If you're learning Chinese, you know the difficulties. For example, 我可以问你吗? For me, it's the same. My brain sometimes, like I cannot know the 声调. But 我可以问你吗跟我可以问你吗 these two sound very similar. 我可以问你吗? But one means, can I kiss you? One means, can I ask you? I mean, this is one example of many, many, many examples of, for us foreigners, it's very hard to grasp how difficult Chinese is. So, assuming that you already found a common ground, you already know what you talk about, you already know your friend, you already have mutual respect, and you already have a very good first impression, how do you actually become better communicators? Well, as I said, be a good listener. When your friend, don't just talk, listen and wait for your Taiwanese friend to also talk. Be patient. They might have a little bit struggle in the beginning. They might be very slow. It's okay. Just let them talk. Especially if you're a native speaker, it would be very difficult for them to catch up. And don't dominate the conversation. When you are the only one talking all the time, just let the other person speak. And also for the speakers, look at your friend. When he's obviously not interested in the conversation, just change the topic, or don't keep talking. It's very, especially when you are the native speaker and when you are dominating, it becomes very easy to forget that this person also wants to say something. And just check your friend's body language. If they are like this, I don't think in any language or any culture this means I'm interested. Okay, so next one and third one, two and third, is use a simple language. Don't use idioms, 成语, or if you are a native speaker of your Taiwanese, don't use like a complicated 成语. If you are speaking English, don't use phrasal verbs and difficult vocabulary. I find it interesting that how unaware my Taiwanese friends are, that they think even after 10 or 11 years in Taiwan, I understand everything. I still don't understand a lot of words. So when they speak, there's still in every sentence, there might be 1, 2, even 3 words that I don't understand. So if you don't understand something, just ask. And the sooner you do it, the better. Because if you are friends for 1 or 2 years, and then after 1 or 2 years, you ask, what does that word mean that your friend already used a million times? I think it's not a good idea. So I have made a few like very simple gestures. If this is your conversation between the friend, you and your friend, like blah 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 blah, 听不懂听不懂听不懂, and then there's one word you understand, and 听不懂听不懂, you don't understand. I don't think you guys can become friends. Or at least means that you are speaking at a different level. Just lower your level, use a simpler vocabulary. This is bad. The second one is, this is where you actually know the language. You know the language, but the other person is either too fast or they're using too difficult words. I think this is also where most of the 误会, 最多的误会是在这个地方发生. Because you think you understand, but you don't understand really. So this is also not a good idea. Still lower it. And if it's like this, this is perfect. This is really the place where you can guess, even if you don't know the entire word or the entire sentence, 你可以猜. You can guess. And it's also fun. Say, oh, 不好意思，那个什么意思? And your friend, oh, he doesn't have to start from all of it. He can just only focus on one word. And this is where you actually, 你在学习, you're actually learning. Because you know that what you're missing. It's not like building an entire house from zero. It's just like one small brick. So I think lower your level, adjust your level until you two are like this. I think this is where constructive communication. And the good thing is, just because you use a simple language doesn't mean you're like two babies. No, you can actually have a very mature, 你可以讲很复杂的，用很简单的语言. So it is possible to talk about very complicated things just using very simple language. And the last one is, one time I told my friend to correct me. 如果我讲错，麻烦你帮我. But do it gently. I got roasted because every other word, 哦，这个不是声调，这不对，啊，这个不对. Or if you want, you're going to help your friend, do it like if he makes 10 mistakes, just correct one of them. Otherwise, it's very difficult to continue the conversation. Or just focus on the word that they keep repeating. So if you're going to correct your friend's mistake, be very forgiving, be very gentle, and don't correct everything. Otherwise, if I speak Chinese and my friend corrects me every 2 or 3 seconds, then I'll be very scared. I will not dare to talk to this person because this person always finds mistakes. 如果我一直讲中文，然后你一直说哦，对不对，对不对，我应该不敢讲话。So be a little bit gentle. It works for the same, English or Chinese. It doesn't matter. So the good news is, 你不管几岁，你不管多忙，你都可以学，或是你可以学习你想要的语言。No matter how old you are, no matter how busy you are, there's always some room for improvement. I'm still learning English. I'm still learning Chinese. I'm still watching movies and I don't understand a lot of words. I'm still talking to my friends. Even 开会的时候，很多词我都听不懂. So I'm still asking. So, and as I saw it, most of you guys are also learning. So there's always some room for improvement. So here are some tips from me. Don't focus too much on a language. 语言只是一个工具. Language is just a tool. It's not the goal. So what is the goal? The goal is actually people, or it's your friend. Why am I saying this is because it's just like a car. This is a car. You use it for a tool. It's for your transportation. It's for your safety. But if I just focus my entire, just look at this car. Oh, so beautiful. I clean it all the day, every single day. And that's not the purpose of the car. The purpose of the car is to take you to wherever you want. If you focus too much on the language, then you forget that you needed to talk to people. And when I say, oh, you made a mistake, you take it too personally. Okay? So just look at it, use it as a tool, and you distance yourself from it, and use whatever tool necessary to communicate with this person. If my Chinese is okay, my English is also okay, but I see whatever language my friend is comfortable with, then I use that language. So don't forget, it's not the goal. Language is just a tool. And make mistakes as much as you want. I don't think there is a single Chinese word that I have not made 100 or 2, I don't know, even a few thousand times use it in the wrong place. And I'm very proud of it. So make as many mistakes as possible. Even forgetting is progress. That means you are learning it again. Like, how do you even forget something if you're not actually trying? How do you know that you forgot if you're not learning it for the second time? That means you're still learning. So these are all still progress. And never stop learning. I have so many friends that they stopped learning. They have been in Taiwan for 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, but they stopped growing 10 years ago. And their Chinese is still like a baby. or an English speaker, or maybe a professor or anyone, that they keep making the same easy mistake again and again and again. And it's really easy to fix. Why did that happen? Because they stopped learning. They stopped growing. So no matter how good is your English or Chinese, there's still always some room for improvement. And don't care how fast is your friend learning. Learn, 你慢慢来，看你自己的时间。If you have 1 minute a day, then that's your pace. You cannot compete with someone who doesn't have time, or maybe their major is in language. 你没办法跟一个年轻人、跟一个老人、跟一个比较，每一个人的时间都不一样。As long as you're learning, even 1 minute a day, in my opinion, that's still progress. So learn at your own pace and compare yourself to yourself, not other people. And food. How much time do you have? Oh, we already passed. All right, this is a little bit awkward. It's already passed. Okay, well, such a pity because I have a lot of good things. Oh, I kept the best for the last, but one last thing is most of the people, be careful when you are going out with the friends. I gave some examples so my Taiwanese friends know that even after 11 years in Taiwan, I have not changed. Like, there are still some foods that I really find it difficult. For example, I really don't like biandang. I don't like 7-Eleven food. I don't know why. I just don't like it. I don't like this kind of 自助餐. Like, the smell makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I like the morning, but because there's no salad, there's no tomato, there's no cabbage, I don't need it. I hate it. And there are a lot of foods that I really don't know. I don't even know. I think they have pork. Maybe they don't, but I really don't know what they are, and I don't like them. And ruwei, it's just like I tried it one time, twice. It's not for me. And chou tofu, stinky tofu, it's bad. Don't try. And I tried it one time. I put all my courage, and I regret it. I wasted it. It was very bad. It was very, very bad. I just wanted to prove that I tried. But there are some food that I like. Like noodles are really good in Taiwan. Hogo is really good. There are a lot of healthy options as well. And fruits are amazing. And Taiwanese coffee shops and the coffee shops have amazing things and drinks. So every person might have a different preference. Don't assume just because you really like this that your foreigner friends does also like it. 不要认为就你自己很喜欢这个食物，你的外国朋友也喜欢，你会很不开心。如果你发现他真的没有像你一样的那么期待，他吃完以后就 maybe you're very, very excited. It's your favorite. You've been waiting to share this food with someone, and then your friend eats and it, you're gonna be hurt. But so get prepared. And okay, so this is the last one. so far we learned how to be mutual respect. We learned communication is important. We also learned, we didn't actually learn about the food. I didn't have time. So where to go? This is the last slide. I recommend you guys meet at restaurants because they're everywhere. And also any place where you can actually try a new interesting food. I recommend you go to you meet at museums or exhibition centers. These are places where it's big, it's diverse, and it's fun, and it's during the weekends, and it's also very cheap. Hiking, Taiwan scenery, absolutely great ideas. There are so many mountains, stairs, real rock climbing everywhere, like everywhere in Taipei or around Taipei. There are places where you can go. If you can go to a sports center, the sports center is, you can have every single exercise in that sports center, and it's very, very cheap. And you don't even need to actually to be a member. And it's like works, especially in Taipei when it's always raining. And biking, you can bike everywhere. Any other suggestions for anybody else has any suggestions for like other than these? So you can actually give it to your Taiwanese host families. Any other suggestions? Any other ideas? Where should you go with your host family? Rice paddy, where? Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, that's interesting. Go to a rice paddy. I've never seen a rice paddy like up front. Any other ideas? Anyone has any interesting place that I didn't know so I can use it in my next? Sorry, I didn't hear it. Oh, night market, exactly. Oh, how can I forget? Okay, this would be the place. I will put it here. Okay, night markets, really great place, diverse food, and the food is also not that big portion. If you go to a restaurant, 分量太大. But in a night market, it's very small, so you can actually, even if you don't like it, you're not going to lose a lot of money. Good job, thank you. Anything else? Any other suggestions? Hot spring. Great idea. Any good places that you recommend? Ulai. Oh, Xinbeitou. Okay, okay. Actually, the weather is also like it's perfect to go to a hot spring. That's a great idea. All right, guys. Our time is limited. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Apologies for.
All right, so that is all the presentations we have planned for today. We'll have a question and answer session right now. Please feel free to ask if you have any questions for Mott or about the host family program. Please feel free to ask us.
That's a very good question. There was one shop that was called Sababa. That was like the only place that I used to go and I loved it, but it's closed. I don't know why. So I think the next best thing is Indian or Pakistani food. Like and we have a lot of them, especially in Shida night market. There's the ones in the night market, they're a little bit cheaper. But there are also a lot in Pakistani food is very similar to Middle Eastern. The difference is Pakistani and Indian food, they're both really delicious. I think the Indian is a little bit more spicy and the Pakistani is a little bit less spicy. So any one of these two, maybe after the presentation is over, I can also recommend a few places that I've been and you can also give them a try. Thank you so much. Thank you.